So here we are allocating a non-sequential data set. This is the data set that you're going to use to upload your files to, or if you want to have a data set that already exists to write to, you can use this method for allocating that data set. Although, you know, in your JCL, if you want to write something to a data set, you can put the new tag in there, and when you do that, it's going to create a new data set at that level anyway, a new sequential data set. So anyway, to allocate this kind of a data set, let's say we want to upload our source data for this program, right? So we're going to go to Utilities, which is 3, in the ISPF primary option menu. And we're going to go to the 2, which is data set. We're going to type an A here to allocate a data set, but this time we don't want a library. So we're going to type in the name of the data set. So in my case, I want to name this KC02728. You should use your own user ID there as the project part of this data set name. IT272. And let's call it, let's say I've got a file with a bunch of customer data in it, right? So I'm going to say cust mst1, customer master 1, and we're going to close the single quote there. Now I have an A down in the option menu. I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to come up with a screen, and I'm going to try and fill this out so that I can allocate it. Let's say my record length is 104, okay? So I'm going to say 104 for the record length, because you have to get it exactly right, or when you upload your data set, it's not going to work. It's not going to load properly. So we've got 104. And then we're going to grab our handy dandy calculator. So here's my calculator. And it's 104 times, let's say, 200. So 2080. So we're going to go back here. 2080. Let me make sure that that's right. 2800. Okay, excuse me. 800. There we go. Now, and notice last time when we allocated the data set, this said library in it. We do not want a library this time. We just want a sequential data set at the top level. So we're going to page down here. We've got all that, data set type. All this, we can take the default, so we don't need any more information. We're allocating 5 as a primary quantity, 1 as a secondary quantity. We can, we don't need that much space. Let's say 2 in above units. We're going to say megabytes. All right, and let's hit enter. And my data set is allocated. Now, if I go back, hit F3. And I can hit F3 again. I want to say view. No, I want to say 6 for command. I want to type in listcat. And now I should have a KC02728.IT272 custmast1, right? Should be in there somewhere. IT272, well, how about that? Right there it is, custmaster1. So is that the data? No, it's not the data. It's just an allocated data set. Now, let's say I want to upload something to that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my handy dandy transfer option here and go transfer, send to host. And I'm going to make my target host file be KC02728 dot IT272 dot cust mst1. All right. But now I need to browse my computer. I'm going to go to 272, which is our class. And I'm going to find a data set, hopefully one that is has 104 character record length, because that's going to make it work a lot better, right? And so I'm going to go to Project Solutions, Data, and I'm going to say StuMast. I think StuMast is the one that's got 104 characters. We'll find out when we try and upload it, right? So I'm going to say text, TSO, we're good, and I'm going to hit send. Okay, so it sent this command to upload the file, and it was indeed uploaded, we think. So let's go and take a look at it. Let's view it. So I'm going to hit F3. I'm going to hit the 1 for the view menu. And down here I'm going to type in my file name, kc072728.it272.cust mst1, and my close. I'm going to hit enter, and I must have not specified that right, because it didn't upload there. Oh, you know what happened? Silly me. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go F3, go to command, which is 6. I'm going to go back here. What I did was I specified the wrong file. So I'm going to say transfer, send to host, and you don't put your username. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. There. IT272 cust mst1. StuMast.data is the one that I'm going to upload into this file. I'm going to hit send. Now I'm going to hit F3. I'm going to go to view, which is 1. I'm going to go down here and type in my kc0728 it272.cust mst1. And now I've got my data. And as you can see, I guessed that this particular file was 140 characters wide. If you hit F11 here while you're in view, it will take you over to the second part of the screen on the right, which is, as you can see, columns 33 to 104. If we go back using F10 to the right, we have columns 1 to 72. And that is how you allocate and upload a data set to an allocated data set. Now, if I want to upload a data set to that other library structure that I created, I can get out of here with F1, or F3 again, go back to command, which is 6. And in this case, I go up to my transfer menu, send to host, but I put the name of the member of the library, let's say it's COBOL, like this. I go, well, I call it the same thing, MST1. All right, but I put it in parentheses. That's going to indicate that it's a member of this library. So if I hit send now, I'm going to have a little bit of a problem, because this data set is 104 columns wide. My files in my library are only 80 columns wide, so let's see what happens. See, it doesn't work that way, so you have to do something a little bit different. Not a partition data set. So let's go back here, transfer, send to host, KC02728. Do we have to have our user ID in this? Maybe that's what it is. It can't be accessed. Yeah, that's what happened. Why did that happen? So I think that I'm going to have to go check, and I'm going to do an edit, and I'm going to say, oh, you know what? I called it IT222. I do not have a 272 library, do I? No, I don't. So what I want to do, if I want to do that, is I have to make sure I have that library allocated first. So one thing that I can do is go 222, and you can see that that is a library. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to command. I'm going to try this transfer one more time. So don't get stupid about it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. IT222 COBOL cusmast 1. Now let's see what happens. Aha! That works. F3 view, but like I said, we're going to have a problem with this because while we now have two files, if I go to look at this, it's all jumbled up. Why? It's all jumbled up because I only have 80 columns, and so this is wrapping around and messing up my data set. That's why I say these libraries are nice for JCL and for COBOL programs, which are 80 columns wide, generally speaking, or no more than 80 columns wide. So just to refresh your memory on the COBOL, I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you my JCL. Which allows you to run this. I'm going to say reset there. Okay, so if you did not get that JCL, you can pause the video here and copy that JCL down to make sure that you get it. But remember, your dataset name has to be your user ID in a library, since we have it here like this. And then these are sequential data sets, both the data set that I am reading in with for my input 1 and my output file, which I'm defining as new cataloged with a logical record length of 133. That's the maximum printer width, and so that makes sure that when I write to this new data set with our report, that it's going to be wide enough to handle it. And so that's about it for these two videos. I think that should get it done. If it doesn't get it done, let me know, and I will make another video on whatever topic you need to have made. Thank you.